Uh, Hello everyone and welcome to the library. I am the author and we're here to explore, create, and discover stories old and new. Tonight we join the Gungnir, the spear of the Shackleton fleet, to play Star Trek Adventures, a tabletop RPG by our friends at Modifius. Every week we continue our wild and wonderful adventures on the frontier of the Federation. And tonight is the first episode of season 3. We're shaking things up. New time, new location. Should be fun. Yeah. And there's going to be lots of mysterious things going on in the background. I'm moving away from the big epic galaxy ending in plot lines anymore. All right, this is going to be a little more adventure of the week hex crawl, but there's still like chain stories and networks of stories going on. But your admiral is going to explain that to you momentarily. And on that note, let's set course for adventure. Yay! Da, 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 da. All right, I'm really zoomed in here. So, last as we left off, the Gungnir had a 3-year time skip and also an immediate temporal transfer at the same time, as two timelines crashed on top of each other. Let's see, 3 years after the tour of duty in the New Frontier, dealing with the fallout of the Koathian in Civil War, Green raids, and even a presidential scandal, the Gungnir was reassigned to new pastures and people moved on. Sorrel returned to Vulcan with his temporally displaced fiance, and they are now married in the traditional Vulcan faction. They also now have a son, Sunak, who is 2 years old at this time. Vera left to continue her studies and went to Starbase 39 and to take up a residency in counseling. And she still has some teaching and learning to do, but she has an associate's degree equivalent. Atron finished his tour of duty on the Gungnir with the Officer Exchange Program and has returned to the KDF, proud of his accomplishments. There he moved to helping his house Konach and the Great House of Kita secure or the position of Chancellor Martok. Rost and Fox stayed with the ship as she moved back and forth along the Silk Road, reinforcing and building outposts and colony seeds. And for various reasons, you all made your way to Narendra Station. Some of you were assigned there, some of you were looking for assignments there, and others were told to be there. On stardate a 660000 Mark 5, the Gungnir was in orbit of Narendra Station in the Amari. The Amari system at the edge of the Shackleton Expanse, when and suddenly nope, just 1640. It's really hard. It's gonna get a little better as we move on, but yeah, we're kind of at the turn of the decade for star dates. When all of a sudden you had 3 months of adventures, starting from when you were assigned to chase down Ren and arriving at the plot of the Tal Shiar, it comes crashing down on top of you. Just all of a sudden, all these memories and stuff just gets inlaid on top of you.
And we're not all back on the Gungnir yet, right? Like we're all like kind of collecting to the station at various
You're
places.
collecting on the station, unless you have a reason to be on the Gungnir before this.
Right.
Yes, you would be on the station.
Yeah, Fox would probably have been the last one to arrive at the station, given his intelligence work.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like not too far ahead of a Fox. Like,
oops,
probably only just recently arrived. You know, we could just say that they meet back up in the shuttle bay.
Mm-hmm.
Why big?
Why big? No.
Are you giant Vera again?
Giant Vera.
The token needs to be resaved.
All right.
So the starbase is down here, I see.
Yep, starbase is down here. It's fairly small, all system, but it does have an M-class planet, but no resources on it yet. So Vera is on the station. Gungnir is in a parking orbit. Ross, would you be on board?
Yes.
Fox, you can meet up here. Sorrel, would you be back on the Gungnir at this point, or would you be coming back as a civilian and then reinstating once you get to the station?
I think I was on leave, so I think I would still be a Starfleet officer. But yeah, I would be returning from Vulcan.
I'm gonna have to move that tasking because she's suddenly way more important. And Leslie. Atrom is also on this station elsewhere. And Dr. Sinclair, you've been assigned to the Gungnir as a chief medical officer, probably a couple weeks ahead of this. But you could either be on the station or you can be on the Gungnir herself.
I'm on the station making sure everything's in order to move to the Gungnir.
Okay. Vera and Fox, you actually you meet up in the hangar bay as your shuttles arrive at the same time.
Yeah. He was looking around.
I don't think she'd recognize Fox.
Oh. Yeah, how does Fox look like
Fox?
after the
Fox is grayer than when she last left him, and he has a full beard at the moment.
Oh my
He is
god.
also in civilian attire.
Mirror Fox. It's Mirror Fox. There's a beard.
No, Mirror Fox had a black goatee and a spiked hammer.
Spiked hammer, of course.
Yeah, full beard means burned out, not evil.
I don't think there's any like major like physical difference other than being in a civilian outfit for Vera. She's like
describe your civilian outfit.
It's pretty much what he wore at the station. It's a it's the capri pants that you would see with Toss in rather worn boots. He's got the vest on. He's got a white button-up shirt underneath it, and he's wearing a long black coat with one sleeve rolled up to show off his bracer.
And Vera.
Vera's got like her old like trench coat on, but not trench coat exactly, but like long jacket. And just like a simple low cut shirt and pants. Like she's not like gussied up or anything. She was traveling, so just comfortable clothes. But it's also very hard to mistake very tall Orion girl for anybody else. Yeah, I guess if Fox is in disguise, we get momentum.
We do, because this crew is well knit, even as you were apart for the past couple years.
All right, well, back to it then.
I don't
maybe a
believe
drink
in
first.
scenario.
And chat also doesn't believe in the no-win scenario and is giving you a momentum.
Thanks, Chad.
But yeah, since if she's not recognizing Fox, then yeah, she's just gonna start moseying on out of the hangar bay.
He's going to finalize his transfer from intelligence back to the Gungnir at station operations, and then he's going to get a new uniform, because it's been a while since he's had to wear the security gold.
Darn it!
How do you
hold
like the
on.
new scans?
I will stab you.
Scans for everyone. Sorry, there's been budget cuts. We've had to redo the uniforms.
Vera could rock it.
Fox finds scants and skirts impractical for his sensibilities. We've covered this.
That's why we have Thigh Thursdays, so everybody looks good.
They're impractical.
Anyways,
But yeah, you see each other from across the way.
I've never portrayed Fox as a sentimental type, or the type that would go out of his way to greet people. He's not ignoring Vera, but he's just not really registering that she's there.
Giant baby!
Rude.
Giant
You say
baby!
rude, I say standard Fox.
That's rude.
That is rude.
Rude to everybody. It's rude by everybody else's standards.
Not enough to not enough to pierce the veneer of the gray.
So are you going to greet each other, or or is this just a
Talk-
passing glance?
yeah.
Fox is going
Alright.
off to do his thing.
She'll like for a sec. She'll like kind of squint her eyes. And, hey, wait, hold on. Just run after.
If this
You're
is
really just
another
gonna-
if this is another person coming to kill me this week, I can very much do without that.
I could, but I'm not going to.
I've already completed my last assignment with intelligence. If you're coming to bring me another one,
Is he just like not looking at me?
oh, he's not looking at Vera. He's continuing to walk towards station operations.
No, Wow, I figured. I remember you being a lot smarter.
Yes, well, 3 days without proper sleep will do that to a person.
And you're just walking to do other things instead of getting sleep.
I need to finalize my transfer from intelligence back to the Gungnir.
She'll just like step ahead of Fox and just like, does he have like the pad in his hand?
He is definitely typing away at something.
Yeah, she'll put a hand on the pad to stop him. I can take care of that if you want to get some rest. I'm in the same boat.
You don't have the clearance for it.
No, but I can take it to the Gungnir while you get a nap.
I'm
Something.
not going to the Gungnir for this to finalize my transfer. I have to finalize it with the intelligence officer in the system.
Oh, okay. Got it. Stuff, okay. I understand. I thought you were on, like, different parts. Also, hi.
He looks up, blinks. Vera sidesteps her and continues walking.
Come on. I'm telling the captain that you need sleep.
I'll get sleep as soon as I get back aboard the Gungnir.
Uh-huh. Alright. I guess I'll see you later then. She'll head off to go get something to drink before heading back over to the Gungnir, or finding other crewmates that might be on shore leave.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, across the way, Sorel, you, Leslie, and Sunak have disembarked from your shuttle, and you are also walking across the terminal.
Ah, yes. Good. It's good to return to surface.
Yeah, after a couple years of more adventure, we're going to find something else even more adventurous.
Indeed. And we're further away from my parents. So, you know.
I didn't know. Oh, Vulcans is gonna have such a disapproving glare for a span of 2 years.
My father has perfected that. But I've always gone my own way, and I believe my choices have been logical.
I'll say so.
Indeed. Come along, Sunak.
Sunak is cranky and whiny and just overstimulated from him and everything, and he's just kind of fussing around in his stroller.
Yes.
I always figured Sorel for the toddler leash instead of the stroller.
I mean, he is too. He can walk. He just can't walk as fast as adults.
Yeah, we're just in the terrible twos, so.
You don't really want a toddler walking around a station with all those very sharp edges
Mhm.
and those plaques everywhere.
And since it's
Trust me,
Star Trek,
trust me,
it's
a 2-year-old a toddler next to plaques, not a good idea.
since it's Star Trek, it's an anti-grav stroller, so you know.
Of course. But yeah, he is just all sorts of overstimulated and cranky, and is pulling on the hood and just.
That's a very strong stroller to withstand a Vulcan child.
There's a strength rating on every stroller you have to look at.
Is it rated
Weight
for
rating,
Vulcans?
strength.
No. Next stroller.
uh,
So who's gonna run into Sorel?
I just want Fox to accidentally bump into Sorel's back.
stroller approved for Klingon children up to 5. At this point, I mean, Fox, you actually do run into Sorel's back as both he and Leslie are looking at the directions on the station, trying to figure out where to go.
And that's a pat to the chest. That's not what I need right now. Pardon me, it wasn't paying,
Hello, Fox. Long time no see.
sir.
Yes, as Fox, actually it has been in a long time.
2 years, 6 months, 5 days by my count.
That is accurate.
You've got the 12 hours, but I'm showing. I mean, Sorel has already calculated that.
Yeah. I just didn't mention it to Fox because, you know, that would be rude.
Would I have been walking generally the same direction anyway?
45 minutes, 15 seconds. Now 16.
Stop.
I guess I can jump in on that then.
Yeah, you can jump in on that.
Really? You kept count for him, but you won't even say hi to me?
Burn.
Ah, Vera. Pleasure to see you again.
Of course.
Vera, how are you doing? Dang, I
Uh,
heard you went back to school.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision, especially because like I definitely didn't do any school growing up. So, and you have a kid. That's
And
different.
Sunak is now Al puffing up and getting ready to scream his lungs out.
Of course.
I am not going to do that on mic.
Vera's
Might
gonna.
want to get ahead of that, Leslie.
There, Suna.
Leslie bends down and starts cooing and singing a Vulcan lullaby. Trying to calm down Sunak.
As lovely as all this is, I really must get to station ops. And then sleep.
Oh yeah, apparently you stayed up 3 days before our big coming back together party.
Improper sleep over 3 days. My last mission took longer than I expected. I expected to be back here 3 days ago.
I actually didn't know you were coming. You were gonna be here. I didn't know who was gonna be on the Gungnir at all. Actually.
Shh. It's okay. I know it's a big, scary world.
Well, I have to review the personnel files, of course.
Well, you should have a party anyway.
Fox continues on his way.
A social gathering would be, I think, beneficial to crew morale.
Let's see. Ross is still the captain. I know that. Is Atrom still in charge of the engineering down there?
I believe so. I understand we have a new chief medical officer.
Really?
Sinclair. You just hear Fox say Sinclair from about 3 feet away at this point.
Mr. Sinclair, I haven't again quite had the opportunity to review the personnel files for the new crew, but it's a top priority for me.
You
He comes
told
well
him that-
recommended.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I said he comes well recommended.
I think it's
She.
Sinclair is a she.
Oh my gosh, she comes well recommended.
You should probably get
Leslie-
get to it sooner than later.
Leslie's
Commander.
he's picking up Sunak and is going to walk away. I'm going to take him to the refresher. Or honey, would you be here? My love.
Absolutely.
And she gives you the 2-finger Vulcan handhold,
Excellent.
and then walks off.
I return that.
yeah. So you told this Sinclair person about the curse, right? She kind of waves, like does air quotes.
Curse.
Oh yeah, no,
Referring
like
to our loss of medical officers.
Oh, that's simply random variance, Vera. There's no curse.
I don't know. I still keep in contact with a lot of people with some of the people from the lower decks and stuff like that. They believe in the curse. I hear we lost like 3 other ones in the 2 years I was gone.
Improbable events do not need greater explanation other than random variation.
Meanwhile, in the restroom, Sinclair, you're in the restroom on the terminal for one reason or another, probably just us waiting for our crew to arrive, and you see a half Vulcan, half humanoid woman walk in and with a 2-year-old Vulcan child who is just screaming his head off, almost in pain. And the mother is looking kind of worried and kind of panicked at, oh God, what do the baby? Lights on. We're not hearing you, Sinclair.
Sorry, I'm using one of my fancy new microphones compared to what I've normally been using, so
Okay.
got to get used to it. Sinclair will approach this half Vulcan, half humanoid woman, and putting down the pad she's reading over the personnel files, and ask if she needs any help.
I don't know. Oh, he's been in like this ever since we disembarked. Or I'm not sure, or if he's just upset, or if something's actually hurting him.
Has he been raised on a starcraft?
No. Oh, we've been in planetside and most of his life. I'm sorry, it's my first child. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I should, but I don't.
It might just be the new environment. It might take time for him to get used to it.
Sorry.
I mean, we are on a starbase after all.
Yeah, and there's probably lots of loud noises. There's some stuff he's not used to. And you see at this point that Sunak is pulling on his ears and wailing.
Would the half Vulcan, half human woman be in the personnel files, or would she not be?
You can give me a insight command difficulty 2.
Oh, she should be in the civilian listings, but also as a dependent of Sorrel.
Possibly. We'll see.
You said Insight Command difficulty 2?
Correct. Yes, as you recognize this as Leslie E. Cuff. She's a civilian and on board or the Gungnir or as a dependent of Commander Sorrel.
I recognize you. Leslie, correct?
Yes. Yes, of the Gungnir?
I'm your new chief medical officer.
Oh, goodness. Yes, I didn't mean to meet you like this. Just, so many things going wrong today.
Things that go wrong only occur so that things can get better.
It's at this point that Aunt Leslie finally notices is the baby Sunak pulling on his ears. Is something wrong, dear? Do you have medical tricorder on you?
Do I?
You would, yes. It's part of your standard gear.
Yes, I will proceed to pull it out and scan Sunak.
Reason medicine and difficulty E1.
Would any of my focuses apply here?
Diagnostic or xenobiology.
I've got genetics, but I don't know if that apply.
It's a little out of the way. I'll take emergency medicine. Gain a momentum. Ooh, another one. It appears that there's a air pressure differential across his eardrums. The air pressure or the station is slightly lower than what he's used to, and adults kind of know how to swallow and equalize the temperature. He does not, and his ears just hurt.
The barometric pressure change from what he's used to the station is causing air buildup behind his eardrums. If you have anything for him to chew, that might help get rid of it.
Oh my goodness, why didn't I think of that? Of course. Thank you so much, Doctor.
No problem. I'll see you on the Gungnir.
She bites her lips slightly. You didn't find anything else about him?
Not from the preliminary scan I did.
Okay.
If you want me to run a more detailed scan, I can do so when we get to the Gungnir.
Yes, that's going to have to be something to do and something to discuss.
Well then, I need to go report to the captain, so I will talk to you later.
And it is at this point that all of the original crew of the Gungnir, St. Clair, suddenly gets the timey-wimeys. Oh no!
Yeah.
What?
That is that is 6 stress as to everyone, and that is intense 2.
What does intense mean?
It costs 2 more or to avoid an injury, which you are taking.
Mm-hmm. We're starting the game either losing our determination or spending a lot of threat.
Wow. Why are we taking stress?
Because timey-wimey shenanigans have happened now, Sorrel.
Timey-wimey shenanigans right off the bat?
Yes.
Timey-wimey shenanigans.
Yeah, this is us hitting. Is our season 2 hitting season 3 us?
Yeah.
We just got whacked by ourselves.
You just got whacked by yourselves.
I was being-
Including you, Rost. So I guess we'll start at the top of the ranks. Rost, are you taking this on the chin or are you resisting?
I'm going to try and resist.
Okay.
What do I need to roll?
Fitness, science, and it's difficulty 3.
Fitness science, the classic pairing.
Hey, it's timeline stuff. I have to think of something.
Sorrel, fitness science. You actually have a chance with this one.
Okay, take 1 momentum.
All right.
Oh, not so good.
Oh boy.
So I take the full 6 then, huh?
Yep. If you want to avoid the injury, it will cost 4, or you can just hit the deck.
I guess I'll just hit the deck.
All of a sudden, 3 months of memories, and he's come crashing on top of you, and you hear some voices on the bridge. Captain, ah! And everyone on the bridge is just screaming at the same point as they appear to be succumbing to the same thing. And you black out. Sorrel,
Oof.
fitness science div 3.
Composure or quantum mechanics as a focus?
I'll take composure.
Okay. And I will give you 3 threat.
You manage to push through and assimilate the knowledge without ill effect.
Right.
Does that mean no damage to Sorrel?
No damage.
Okay, I see how it works now.
He assimilates what?
But do you? Does he get no damage? He completely avoids his damage and the bond damage because of Rost.
Oh yeah, bond on damage.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
look at you trying to cause
You're
trouble
welcome,
already.
Sorrel.
I can't give you the full thing, but
Violating the player prime directive again. Don't help the GM.
go ahead and take 3 stress.
3 stress.
But
As you
Sorrel,
feel Rost just overwhelmed with information.
Gotcha.
but Sorrel,
Fox.
the thing is, I am a goblin child and I need to make sure that things are done
Mm-hmm.
that make me happy.
Okay.
Yes.
Fox.
Hey, one question, GM.
Yes.
I have the trait psychically resilient. Can I reduce that stress cost?
You can reduce the difficulty of that check so you gain a momentum.
Okay.
And you start checking for traits more often.
Mm-hmm.
Fox. Fitness science difficulty 3. Do you have any traits that might apply?
Yeah, speaking of traits, I am stubborn.
Div 2.
Yay. Take a threat.
Yay.
None of my focuses help me.
I wonder why. No, you cannot hammer the timeline back in place.
I can box I can box these feelings away.
Use intelligence officer.
Technically, you could. If you could talk me into how an intelligence report can prepare you for this.
That's some section 31.
What? Here's someone saying this. I say I could box the feelings away. I don't know why I would be talking you into intelligence.
Fox is basically John Wick now. I think he's made the full conversion.
I'm a very gray John Wick. But
All
no,
right.
I
Wouldn't his previous psychological trauma cause more damage?
onwards and downwards.
Oh no!
Apparently,
Yeah, I'm taking
yes.
it. Hurt me. Fox is just in the turbo lift at this point.
Have you in so
No.
I'm envisioning hands around, arms wrapped around the legs, rocking back and forth. Is that what we're?
There's gonna be a lot of dents in the turbo lift.
All right. 6 stress and 1 intense. So it costs 3 to stay up.
Declaration of Gallantry.
How dare you? Yes.
Because I can.
And Vera, fitness science diff 3. Yep.
Right. I'll use momentum and we'll see where this goes.
Any traits you want to invoke?
I don't think I have any traits that will help with this. Focus and empathy?
Increase complication?
I'll take it. Boop. What's the difficulty again?
It was 3. That's 5 stress and 1 effect. So it costs 3 to stay up.
Declaration of Gallantry.
2 stress. As all across us the deck, Sinclair, you actually see Leslie suddenly grab her head and start screaming, and she almost drops the baby. In fact, daring security diff 1.
Every one of my instincts are screaming at this notion.
Daring security diff 1 for me.
Yep,
Would survival work as a
Baby.
focus here?
I will take survival.
And you know what? Just for the fun of it, take a threat.
Yay! You managed to catch Sunak. Sunak is now out screaming because his mommy he just fell down. And there is a general call for a yellow alert.
Commander, you doing okay? How? Oh,
Yeah. That was. I sense that Captain Rost has suffered a psychic break.
Oh, that's not good. You said we're getting a medical officer, right? I probably want to call them. How? Oh God, what were you doing?
And all the memories come back to you. It is confusing.
Fox is just punching the turbo lift. Not enough to the
Romulans
point where he's going to
and-
bleed or break his fist again.
Sorrel to Chief Medical Officer Sinclair.
Sinclair here.
Captain Rost has had an event. I believe he requires your services immediately.
I apologize, but I'm not able to respond right now. I'm currently dealing with a predicament with your wife.
I'm sorry?
What?
Say that again?
I said I apologize that I am not able to respond right now. I am dealing with a predicament with your wife.
What's wrong with Leslie?
I have no idea. I was just about to run a medical scan.
She probably is suffering from the psychic event we've all experienced. Where are you located at this moment?
Restrooms down the hall.
You know the
Sinclair will give the narratively appropriate hall and corridor.
And
And
Sorrel
deck.
will take off at a run in that direction.
I'm gonna go find Fox. She'll run off to go off in Fox's direction.
Fox is on a turbo lift. You have a couple decks up, but you manage to find him, and he is punching the wall after 5 minutes. Or would you have stopped?
He would have stopped after 2 minutes and started walking towards Ops. He is nothing if not a man who will shake off a traumatic event and continue doing what he does.
She'll catch up. Hey, Fox, you felt that, right? The time smash. We'll call it time smash.
I'm calling it a psychic integration, but yeah, time smash.
Vera's not a smart person. She's slightly smarter.
He raises his hand. If I ever run into Q again, I am going to punch him.
He saved our lives, as far as I remember. I think. It's confusing.
Senior staff of the Gungnir, please meet in conference room 12 immediately.
Sorrel is going to disregard that order. He is headed to Leslie.
So much for completing this and then going to bed.
Sorry, buddy.
Is anybody conscious on the Gungnir?
There's a few people who are conscious.
Sinclair would like.
Yes, Sinclair.
Sinclair would like to run a medical scan on Leslie. I mean, so I'll call it a psychic integration. So I'm focusing on the neurological side of the scan.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how deep of a scan are you doing?
Let's go 3.
All right. Reason medicine. Difficulty 3 brought down to 2 because you have the appropriate equipment.
Would emergency medicine work as a focus here?
Increased comp.
Take a threat. Yeah, I'm gonna reroll one of those.
Damn it.
Wow. Our rolls are not great this time around.
I don't like this new timeline.
We're setting a great precedence for this timeline.
Time crash
Or else
really
life's
messed
going to be in
with
a
us.
coma for the next 3 days.
Like playing Warhammer. I don't like it.
Look, Fox. Like
okay.
Ops is like right on the way here. We'll just like walk by, throw in the pad, and then we'll get to the conference room. They can deal with it, right?
Finalizing this takes 2
Uh,
hours.
Sinclair is one short.
Clearance.
She could potentially succeed at cost.
General quarters. You don't just throw a pad at someone and be done with it with intelligence.
Hmm.
All right. That's all set up now.
As I was saying, one short, Sinclair could ask to succeed at cost if she wants to.
Would you like to succeed at cost?
Sure. I'm assuming with this, the bedside manner focus would not work. The bedside manner talent would not work.
How's the bedside manner talent read?
When the character succeeds at a medicine task to heal another's injury, the character may immediately remove a personal complication from the patient, even if that complication was unrelated to the treated injury.
Yeah, succeeding on cost, the complication it can't be removed with that talent.
Fair. You have to succeed on the roll. That makes sense.
You see that at suddenly she's had a couple months of memory engrams and just slammed into her head at once. However, she also knocked her head and has a embolism blooming in her skull.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. You gotta wonder what happened to you.
I assume that's for me to take care of the embolism.
Yep. Daring medicine diff 2. Sci-fi magic. At this point, Sorrel, you're able to skid into the room.
He will rush to Leslie's side, place his fingers on the side points, and say, "My mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts," and mind meld with Leslie.
Just as you're able to heal this embolism, Sorrel runs into the room and collapses next to Leslie's side and starts mind meld. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a roll of sorts. Presence command. Diff 1, comp 2 to establish the mind meld.
Okay. I now have bold command, so I can use the thing.
All right.
I give it a few hours before he forgets that he can't roll everything.
Yeah, I can't do everything.
You can't do everything bold.
Can't do everything bold. This one I can. I'll give you a threat. Yourself. I get a focus here. All right, let's go comp 2. Rerolling the comp.
Yep. Gain momentum. You're able to merge minds with Leslie. She is adrift in a sea of memories, including a lot out of memories that she doesn't remember herself.
So I am going to attempt to provide her a psychic anchor through the mind meld to allow her to return to herself and repair the psychic break.
Presence command, diff 4, comp 2. You do have a trait to help with this.
Okay.
Yeah,
the psychically resilient.
Oh, 2 traits. You also have married to Leslie. You know her mental patterns. So would you like to bring down the diff or the complication?
I would like to, with one, reduce the diff, with the other, reduce the comp.
Diff 3, comp stand.
And I will spend 3 threat. Would composure work as a focus?
Absolutely. Right. She is huddled in the middle of her island and of her mind as memories are just crashing all around her. Some of them are quite violent and traumatic. However, you're able to reach out and grab her hand as she's flailing, and you pull her into a hug, and she's just sobbing into your shoulder. What did I do? What did I do?
Nothing.
What happened?
We are safe. We are well.
Sunak.
And Sunak as well.
Okay. Oh boy. There's a lot of things going on right now.
Indeed.
We need to talk to the captain as soon as possible.
Unfortunately, I believe the captain is indisposed. He had a similar experience with the psychic event. I don't know his current status, although I sense through the bond he has experienced a, well, let's say a tough time. I've been summoned to I believe the Admiral's conference room, but I think we should first check in with the Gungnir to see how our crewmates are doing.
You sense that she's reaching out through your psychic bond with Frost and checking on him. Ross, in the middle of your dream, you feel a unusual presence in your mind. However that goes.
Okay. Is it trying to communicate or do something, or?
It's just it's peeking in and checking in on you. You don't sense any malice.
How am I doing?
For momentum, you can be brought in on this.
Okay.
Ross, you're suddenly in the mind meld with these two.
You sense a strong family bond. The sort of warmth and acceptance of family. You're experiencing it. This is a very standard component of Vulcan family bonding, although you haven't experienced it in the Vulcan way. You would be very familiar with it as a Beta Z.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Very similar concept. It's a different flavor, but you can translate it into, okay, this is a marriage bond. Pretty similar to what Imzadi would have with each other.
Well, hey, gang, what's going on?
So, did the whole Gungnir get hit with this?
Would I know if anybody else was being affected, or?
You vaguely remember other people screaming and holding their heads as you went out.
Yeah, I think everybody got hit with it.
Sorrel would definitely know that other got hit with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be, if it's localized to all of us.
I hypothesized that at that Q who threw us across the time streams and brought us to the closest quantum link, but there were quantum differences between them, and they merged and became entangled with each other. So we both did and did not experience the last 3 years.
It's an amalgam timeline.
Although, why here? Why now? Why wait 3 years? Why this? He could have merged us back in 2380.
Q's logic is beyond me.
Unless there was something he wanted to show us here, something he wanted to show the gate people.
Well, maybe he'll show up again.
I think we need to keep an eye out to see if anyone else in this region of time and space has experienced temporal shenanigans.
Wise counsel.
But in the meantime, this is going to be under scrutiny of the temporal investigations, which puts me in a awkward position.
Are they kind of a rival unit for the?
They're like the local branch of the time cops.
Okay, yeah.
And if they look too closely at Leslie, they're going to realize she's not from around here.
Yeah. Well, we need it would be best to distract them from that particular focus.
I can't ask you to intervene on my part, Rost, but do you have any ways of obfuscating my involvement in this?
Good question. We need like a backstory for.
We have Q and we have Q involved. And Q is usually like a lodestar, right? So
no, Q's after here, and
you don't need additional information or explanation.
Yeah, that kind of explains it.
Q did it,
right? Hey, it's good enough.
Okay, if that's the story we're running with. We also have to talk with the doctor at some point about my genetics and Sunak's genetics. I have an ancestry that is currently impossible in this timeline. And Sunak has also carried that over.
Well, the doctors on Vulcan rated him healthy, but I suppose in the course of his development, this special genetics of his might produce some curious results. But he is well, and you are well, and Rost is well, and all is well.
Always pragmatic, my love. All
Indeed.
right.
I think we should in the meld and proceed accordingly.
Very well. And the meld ends.
I take him in the Vulcan chant, which sort of involves repeating to yourself your individuality. I am Sorrel. I am Leslie. I am Rost, etc., until the meld is dissipated.
And slowly the meld dissipates. Sinclair, you are kind of watching this as two people have a mind meld of each other for about 5 minutes. Sunak is losing his mind and slapping Sorrel on the leg.
There.
Just trying to get attention.
I'll pick him up and cuddle.
As they awake, Dr. Sinclair says, I would like to insist that we report to the medical bay on the Gungnir for scans. This was very instant.
Well, we have orders to report to the Admiral. I think scans would have to wait until after we've had that conference. However, Leslie and Sunak could accompany you.
Leslie, he kind of shoots you a sideways glance that says a lot more than and it should.
I'm sure the Admiral will understand the necessity of dealing with the patient.
Yeah, I'm sure the Gungnir's medical bay is going to be quite busy, and nothing like a emergency to get used to your new posting.
I believe that triage to treat those who had difficulty with the psychic integration is the priority right now, Mr. Sinclair. But I will certainly report to the medical bay when I am available. Miss Sinclair. Although they actually do Mr. even when it's a girl. So I think I'm good.
It could go either way. It's the 24th century.
Yeah. I mean,
it's individual dependent.
They did that in Star Trek. I mean,
yeah. And it's kind of a thing in military.
It's more so in the Navy than military in general.
Which, Starfleet.
It falls back to naval tradition.
Sinclair will move over to Leslie, tap her comm badge, and say, Dr. Sinclair to the Gungnir, 3 to beam up.
There's no response.
Dun, dun, dun.
I guess
Ross,
we're taking the old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned route.
Yep. Ross, you wake up on the bridge. There's some poor ensign and who shaky hands and giving you a hypo spray to wake you up. The Gungnir is kind of a mess. About half the crew who has passed out and is being roused by the other half, and the computer screens are flickering and flashing back and forth between 7 different screens at once. It's going between red alert to green alert to red alert, or shields down, shields are fine, hull breaches, not hull breaches.
Okay, so the warp core might need a reboot. I mean, the computer core might need a reboot. All right. Am I able to open up a comm channel to the station? Or is that not working?
Control engineering and difficulty 3. Assisted by communications. As you go to the comms channel, and Bailey's is there, and she's trying to click buttons in between flashes on the view screen.
All right, take 1 threat.
This is Narendra Station.
Narendra, this is Captain Ross, the Gungnir. We've had a mass psychic casualty event aboard. We are also having technical difficulties with our systems. Request that you dispatch as many medical personnel as you can, maybe an engineering team to assist, so we can get this figured out and fixed.
Right away. A Gungnir, we're sending ships now to tow you into dock.
Roger that, thank you.
You're also requested to meet with Admiral Gaius immediately.
Can you ask the Admiral if we can wait till we get things stabilized here?
I can try, but he's quite insistent.
Okay. I'm going to stay on board for a reasonable period of time just so we can get the medical teams and the engineering teams all trying to sort things out least get things moving in the right direction before I leave.
Okay.
After
It takes about a half hour or to get into a docking collar, and yeah, it takes a half hour or so to get towed into a docking collar. During that time, you can go ahead and give me a reason engineering difficulty 2 check, assisted by computers engineering.
Reason engineering. Take 1 threat. Okay. And assisted by what again?
Computers engineering.
All right, that gives us 3.
Right. One momentum. It appears that the computer also is in a state of shock, as it has received 3 months of sensor logs and computer logs and data, and all of this other stuff, as well as the state the computer was in when you went into the gate. So the computer is in 2 states at once, and it's just trying to sort out this information. And your computer currently has 3 breaches to it.
Ooh.
Sinclair, you're managed to make your way to the Gungnir in this time. The crew is a mess. Screens are flickering all over the place. At this point, most of the crew's up on their feet, but you still have a couple dozen people who are unresponsive. And the remedial medical staff on the Gungnir is having trouble dealing with it because the computer systems are all messed up.
Sinclair will walk into the medical bay and just ask the, I guess, head nurse what happened.
You meet a male trio with blonde frizzy hair. It's all over the place. Some sort of psychic incursion, and just slapped everyone. And with it, we're getting trauma and shock all across the ship. But these 12 people are unresponsive.
Scan results? Medical scan results?
Physically, they're fine. It's just neurologically they're not connected.
Sinclair would like to take a scan of one of the patients and compare it to the scan she took of Leslie.
All right, reason, medicine. Let's see, pretty tricky, but you are in sick bay. But sick bay's is a bit messed up right now. Reason medicine, difficulty 3, complication 2, assisted by computers medicine.
2 momentum and a threat.
Okay. And the ship. Nice. 3 momentum generated. It's a curious state. Half of their psionics is active, alive. I've kind of panicking and unsure or are with the situation. The other half of the psionics are not there. And so the brain is getting two very conflicted its states of psionics, and it is shut down and kind of in a fugue state until it can sort itself out.
We need to stabilize their neurological impulses.
Is that wise with the trauma they just received?
The trauma they received is neurological. Stabilizing it would fix the issue.
Okay, you're the doc. Show medicine. Do you want to do this on one person or everyone at once?
One person first.
Okay, that makes this a bit easier.
You know, test the theory before you put it into massive action.
Yep. Control medicine, diff 3, comp 2, assisted by computer's medicine.
2 momentum and 1 threat again.
All right.
And I am assuming emergency medicine works as a focus here, correct?
Yes.
Ouch.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Okay.
And they're both
Let's see.
19s. Oof.
I succeed with 2 complications. I do have a reroll, so I'm going to reroll one of them.
And you also get the ship assist. All right, so it's 5 on a diff 3. You got 2 momentum off that. You just want to use that to quash that other comp?
Yeah, let's squash the complication.
Okay. You're very slowly healing the neurological damage. There is some shock to the temporal lobes, but the person is still in a coma state. It is not quite neurological.
Huh, I've never encountered anything like this before. I'm going to look up in the ship's the ship's computer's broken, so I can't really do that.
You can increase difficulty.
You said their neurological signals are stabilizing, but they're still in a coma?
Yes.
So if we stabilize all their neurological symbols and then just keep them on keep them watched for developments. I mean, right now that's the best I can think of.
That's certainly the way you need to go about it. You're the doc.
Dr. Sinclair will record what she did to this patient on a pad, hand it to the head nurse, and just say, "Follow these out on those 5. I'll follow these out on those. I'll make sure this one stays healthy."
And suddenly you are getting distress calls from several other biobeds.
So several other biobeds. Is this before or after the head nurse said?
After you finish that sentence, and the rest of the biobeds with the comatose people start giving off alert signals. Their bio signs are dropping.
Is the one I was is the one I operated on dropping as well, or no?
I can answer that for momentum.
I'll spend it.
It dipped a little bit, but it dipped a little bit for like a minute, but then is brought back up to baseline.
Okay, we're on more of a time limit than I thought. Dr. Sinclair claps her hands and just says, "Chop, chop, people, get to work." As she also goes over to assist the medical team.
Daring medicine Daring medicine diff 4 complication 3, and that should be computers medicine.
Let's see. Two momentum, 3 threat, and determination to the value enacts irregular medical practices.
Yeah, this is certainly an irregular. Wow, this is the worst timeline.
Oh,
You got 1 success.
Yeah,
Or 2 successes.
Can I negatively use always obeys a superior's orders since I'm technically disobeying the admiral's orders by not being in the conference room?
I will accept that. Burning value on the first day. Yikes. I'll take it.
And I'm going to re-roll those 4 dice.
Yep. That's better. 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 momentum generated. You almost lost 6 people right away as you're trying to help one person, then another person, and then another person's crashing, and it's just mass hysteric area as you're running around out trying to save these people. It appears that when the quantum merge happens, most people receive two timelines signs of events. These people only have one timeline event, and the other timeline, their psychic register wasn't there, so they kind of received half of a dead person's psyche.
I'm assuming Sinclair would know this could be an effect of temporal manipulation, correct?
That's certainly a theory you can work on.
As Sinclair finishes saving the other 11, I believe, people, she'll just say, "Good work," and take a breather.
The 12 people are actually, it was more than 12. It was a couple dozen, so it was like 20 people that you've saved, and they're now in a semi-comatose state but stabilized.
Sinclair will just walk over to the replicator and say, "Coffee, cream, sugar, cold." Of course, with the computer being how it is, she completely forgets about that and is doing this out of naturality. I forget the proper word for it.
Out of habit.
Yes, out of habit.
That button working? The computer gives you a Monster energy drink.
Those aren't illegal?
Not yet.
Impressive. Lasted a long time.
She just says, "Who knows? The computer might know better." She'll take that to drink instead of coffee.
It is vile and super sweet. Your teeth hurt.
Monster Energy still has another 340 some odd years in its lifespan.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all right. With that all done, shall we meet the Admiral?
Rather not. We're going to anyway.
Let's go meet the Admiral.
Meeting the Admiral.
Or
Morning,
he's
morning for duty, sir.
exhausted, disheveled, and now he has to go meet. Now he has to go talk to an admiral.
You are all disheveled, old, stressed out, and not knowing what's going on, and kind of confused on the timeline. Real Admiral Gaius, yes, is a Saurian in male, crisp and standing at attention at the head of the table.
I assume the Gungnir staff is there too, or
Yes, Gungnir staff's there.
Yes.
Yeah, Sorrel was going there specifically, so.
I think that Fox and Vera would have been the first ones there because they didn't have anything else they had to.
And they
Yeah, Sorrel,
if we had like 30 minutes, we could have stopped by and gotten your ops thing taken
Mhm.
care of.
disregarded the initial request to deal with the Leslie issue, and then
Fox already pushed aside what he had to do at ops because that's going to take longer than they have.
Fair.
That's one final debrief, and then all the other issues with the intelligence work.
All right. Well, while we're waiting, I can try to like you look a little bit more organized if you want.
Stall for time.
Fox?
Fox doesn't really care. Fox, have you ever seen Fox really care about much?
That's fair.
And he was told to report immediately. He was in uniform that was covered with grease. He'd still show up.
Well, hopefully they get here soon. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit awkward. I'm not really feeling very Admiral ready. Yeah.
Fox just sits in a chair. Wake me when the others get here. And he just zonks out.
You're just gonna like take off her jacket and like put it on him. There you go.
He has 2 jackets on.
Like more like a like a blanket. She's trying to be helpful.
I mean, he's just sitting bolt upright in a chair. Very weird that he can sleep like that.
Yeah. Well,
Finally.
I imagine
Okay.
they arrive eventually.
Yeah, everyone arrives eventually.
Hey, Captain.
You're good to see you again.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more of me. I'm coming back. I got the pad somewhere, but we got called in, and I didn't know if I was supposed to be here or not. Honestly, yet.
We already rented out your room. Wink, wink.
Officers, if you could please take your seat. Standing next to the admiral is a trill man, and who has a pad on him and is whispering things to the admiral.
The chief of staff.
It appears that at the Gungnir has some computer repairs that need to be done. Whatever has happened is not the first event we've seen of this type.
Admiral, it's...
Acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We've had a psychic integration.
A time crash.
If you wish to put it colloquially, yes.
On a massive scale.
There have been a couple officers in the Shackleton fleet who recently have also experienced such a time crash. We haven't been able to study it much, as the Achilles was needed to send off to another location, but it appears that now there might be a warrant of looking into this thing further. Although it wasn't at such a grand scale as the Gungnir appears to be. The Achilles' time crash appears to have only affected a few officers. Yours has affected your entire crew, as well as your ship's memories.
Admiral, the quantum equations must be analyzed if we are to understand the import of this event.
Indeed.
No, I mean, I think I can't really like say much, but I think like before we like do any studies about like math and all that stuff, probably should make sure everyone is okay.
Right. We need to see to the medical needs of everyone first before we begin anything else. Make sure everyone's stabilized.
Well, I was saying more like in the brain.
It's in the membrane.
Like we got a new dock, which means we'll be good until like looks Sinclair over. I'll give you 2 months.
Sorrel's already buried in his pad. Doing
Didn't wake Fox. He's still asleep.
Admiral, is there any way to get hold of anyone on the Achilles who has experienced this before? Maybe we can build off their experience and research.
They just disembarked, but they should be back within the week. Once they return to station, I'll be sure to point them in your general direction.
Thank you, Admiral.
I want to know, if this is going to be a common occurrence in the Shackleton, or if this is a couple isolated incidents. Because
I mean, it passed as prologue. Frequent? I'm just saying we've had our share of temporal events, and from a sheer statistical standpoint, we are at about the 4th or 5th standard deviation above the mean.
And we've never had an event like this before, right?
Not the specific one, no.
Well, I think, Admiral, a good thing to do might be to focus work on the computer core as well. See if we can figure out all the events it's trying to reconcile and see if there's something that it picked up as a cause to this.
I would also suggest that we get in touch with temporal investigations and attempt to reconcile the two events.
I don't know if we need to bring temporal investigations into this.
I'm surprised you guys don't. With how much you guys worry about Q, I just figure you guys have like temporal investigations and then like Q investigations.
Is this a Q event?
As far as I remember.
Yeah, before we had an event with Q in the Ebon Expanse.
Ebon Expanse. That you were stationed there in the region about 3 years ago?
That's correct. We think that may be the source or related to this event.
You've had a couple encounters with it in the Ebon Expanse, including one with avian species of sorts, but nothing that indicates transdimensional.
Yeah, we got a couple sets of thoughts on that. At least I do. I don't know about anyone else, but there was like, I don't know, some old stuff and Romulans.
That speculation. All Shi'ar rogues under the command of a would-be Empress Sela were using Iconian technology and trying to control an Iconian gate. At that, by the time this all started, we had already shifted it. We'd already shifted our timeline.
Iconian technology. There hasn't been any recovered Iconian technology at all. We found our home world, but it seemingly was raided of all of its tech.
Hence why Q time crashed us. The reality revolving around the Italkiar and the Iconian tech was a decaying timeline.
Somebody did something, I imagine.
Well, I suppose Shackleton Fleet operations for, or the Gungnir at least, will have to be suspended until we can solve this. You have full authority. You need to use whatever resources necessary to study this phenomenon, but unfortunately, the Gungnir and yourselves are not allowed to leave Narinja Station until further notice.
Are you kidding me? I get back after 2 years of school and you're gonna make it so I can't go fly?
I don't think the Gungnir's in any shape to go anywhere right now.
Oh, good. I get time off. Everybody got real quiet when Fox says that he is looking forward to time off.
Alright, this is a weird timeline.
Well, Admiral, let me put together a report for you as soon as my senior staff and I have had a chance to evaluate the situation aboard the Gungnir, and we'll get it to you as soon as possible.
Thank you. And he heads out. The mail trail stays in. Yes, I'm Commander Ardrin. I'm the adjunct for the Admiral, so I'm kind of the go-between between he and the fleet at large.
Nice to meet you, Commander. I hope we can work together well.
Hopefully, he is exciting in different ways as once we actually get out there.
Greetings, Commander Arjun.
Commander Sorrell.
Nice to meet you.
Fox
Vera.
did not look impressed.
That's my name, Vera.
The Gungnir stands ready to assist the Admiral in his mission.
Well, we have to make sure that the Gungnir is operational. So the Admiral is very meticulous and very goal orientated. So once as he sets up a plan, he sets up a 12-step plan. So, I would be very thorough in the report.
Of course. Meticulous is my byword.
Indeed, I've seen your record, at least your record in this timeline. And he walks out. And you have the room to yourselves.
I still have other matters to attend to.
Captain, what are your orders?
Well, we need to figure out what just happened to us, and if it was a Q event or some other temporal anomaly.
It was a psychic integration of the two timelines, Captain. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to move beyond that simple explanation.
If it was
There's probably not a lot we can do about it.
A simple time integration, it would have been more gradual, and we would not have felt the backlash like that.
The cause of the psychic integration is unknown, although Q is certainly the top of the possibilities.
He's the only possibility, based on what we know from that timeline. Now, that's all the help I can really give you. I'm going to complete what I had to do before this happened, and then I am going to sleep. And he leaves the conference room.
Speaking of
My only
sleep,
concern,
I mean, if there's one thing we can count on is it appears that Fox remains Fox
in all timelines. My only concern about this is if the Achilles was affected similarly, something else may be at work.
There's no, I mean, Q is capable of having a galaxy level impact on the temporal time stream. However, we have no way of assessing the scope of this current change. It could be localized to the Shackleton Expanse, to the station, to the Federation. There's just no way to know.
Well, let's see about getting all the casualties on the Gungnir triaged and do whatever we can for them, and see if we can get the computer core back online, and see if there's any interesting or relevant information as to the event there.
Oh, speaking of stuff we have to do, you're the new doctor, right?
Yes, I am Dr. Natalia Sinclair. You must be the con officer.
Yeah, but also, I think I report to you for the whole, like, residency thing, technically. I've been away from the Gungnir for a bit, getting, some training on, counselor stuff.
Ah, yes. Well, I know 20 people who will have mandatory meetings. At least one mandatory meeting with you over the next few weeks.
I mean, if you also need some, if we got that many, we could also use the, what did you call it? Hollow. It's named after some Earth sitcom, right?
Hollow Fraser?
Yeah. But yeah, I can certainly try. It's how I was expecting for my first day. I was expecting, like, oh, I'm having a fight with my my bunkmate sort of stuff.
If necessary, I can put some of them with this hologram and have you slowly walk up to taking the role of counselor.
I'll do my best. And I mean, that's what I always do. It's not fear. It's just surprise.
Our chief weapons.
Also, on that matter, the 20, I believe, were they still in a coma when I left?
Mm-hmm.
The 20 coma patients currently in sick bay. What have you been calling it, Sorella? Psychic integration?
That seems to be the best term we can come up.
Apparently, in the alternate timeline, alternate reality, whatever it was, these 20 people had died.
Died?
Captain, there's precedent for this. If you would examine the logs of the Enterprise D, their encounter with the Enterprise C had such an event. The psychic dislocation of that is quite disturbing.
So they had died in the alternate timeline, but were not dead in this timeline?
Correct. The medical staff managed to stabilize them before they died again.
With the integration of the two timelines, they are simultaneously experiencing the effects of having passed the mortal coil and not passed the mortal coil. Such a psychic challenge would be significant.
So they've died again in this timeline?
No, they're still alive. They're just in a coma.
They're experiencing the effects of having died and not died.
Right. Okay.
Which is why I'd like to recommend at least one mandatory therapy session. Maybe more, depending on their progress.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Lots more. Okay, let's get to work on our computer core, and let's do a full evaluation or a quick evaluation on the crew. Make sure that anybody who needs attention is getting it.
I will take the lead on the computer core, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Sorrell.
I'll work with what was your name again, Doc?
Natalia Sinclair.
Can I call you Nat?
You see a visible and then she's just like, sure, you call me Nat.
You're free to say no.
I'll just have to get used to it, that's all.
All right. First thing first, let's repair those computer systems. You can bypass them and get secondaries up. It will be control engineering difficulty E3. Brought down to diff 2 because you're in space dock.
Computers as a focus.
Yes.
Take a threat.
And one momentum.
Do we know what the danger pizza there is for?
The investigation.
Oh, okay.
For once, it's not danger pizza. It's just regular pizza.
Oh, okay.
It's still untrustworthy.
Okay.
It's not Hawaiian. It's not Hawaiian pineapple. We're good to go.
And nor is it any of the other pizzas as that K9 has been traumatizing me with all day.
So basically, K9 needs to no longer be allowed to order pizza. Got it.
Got it.
I mean, it's
Tries to
your
order pizza.
Bust.
She gets hit with the no. Stop it, stick.
All right. You're able to bypass the computers. The computers are now functioning properly. You're still going to need to be in space dock for 3 days to remove those breaches. But the debuff from the computers being damaged is gone.
okay.
For the investigation, we are looking at a diff 4 task. How are you approaching this as far as gathering information about the timeline and what happened and what's different?
I imagine, for what happened, that would probably be up to Vera's evaluations.
I think we probably want to check with Leslie and see if she has any unique memories.
That's funny.
She has all the memories of the timelines that she stopped happening.
I feel like she'd be like the clearest headed. She was like, yeah, this is same stuff, different day.
She is Leslie is busy at the moment, but you might be able to get to her tomorrow.
Okay.
So you can get started without her, or you can just wait a day until.
No, we'll get started. I don't think we should wait
Okay.
any longer. I guess we'll start interviewing crew people, see if they have any unique, unusual memories. Waiting for the computers to get back online so we can figure out what they saw. I don't have a call queue card, so I don't know if I can ask him directly, but
So interviewing people, trying to figure out what they know, and compiling the differences in the timeline.
right.
All
Anybody
right.
else have any ideas?
Not particularly. Although I can like I imagine that can be done with Vera, like doing all the evaluations and stuff, if that helps.
So presence command difficulty E4.
Unless you want to take the lead on the roll, Ross.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You can
Okay.
either take. Yeah, so one person can take the lead, the other one can assist.
All right. If I'm taking the lead, then am I able to use my Orion trait to use my calming my social benefit, basically?
Diff 3 comp 2. Yes.
Okay.
She might find another boyfriend amongst this. Or girlfriend. I'm not picky.
Oh, and her pheromones aren't that strong. And then she has the counselor training. That's just what's allowing this, or
That's that would flavor how the information comes up.
all right, that's good enough for me. Let's give you let's use 2 momentum and 1 threat, I suppose. Roll 4 dice and oh geez. Determination. Elegance coalition shouldn't be involved. That one's a little bit awkward there, but
These guys aren't necessarily innocent. They are Starfleet officers. They kind of signed up for this stuff.
let's go with my confidence zone shake when everyone should be as like her kind of helping stabilize their thoughts.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And I can just reroll the zeros.
Or you can reroll a whole mitt if you want.
Oh, I was rolling fitness. It didn't swap out to presence. That would not. It wouldn't have changed anything. So
No, it wouldn't. Yep. So that's 1 momentum.
Can I do an assist? You said 2?
Yes, presence command. Another momentum.
Nice.
All right. go ahead and roll your command score and challenge dice +3. 2 for the task and 1 from the captain.
All right, so command score +3, you said?
Yep.
All right.
So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can reroll those zeros for 1 momentum.
Yeah, sure.
4, 5. That is only doing 4 work.
You say I could roll one challenge die?
It was already included.
Okay.
That's 4. For momentum, you can and pierce through the resistance.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think that's my first time ever actually like getting on a work track.
Yeah, work tracks are kind of funny.
It's all
But
fun and games until you have to disarm a bomb to stop the universe from exploding.
don't give me ideas.
Technically, I imploded, and Sinclair went with me.
Like we need to give you that idea.
I mean, yes. All right. You kind of get the same aim idea from the rest of the crew as you interview them. They remember the events. It seems the divergence in time was from getting the mission to find Ren on the criminal space station and following her around there. That's when the timeline diverged. It seems that you never got that. You never got that mission, and you didn't and begin pulling on the thread with the Tal Shiar and the Iconians and all of that.
All right. Yeah, she'll stick that all in a report with the signature of Vera. We'll go with blasé writing style. That's a nice way to put that, right?
Yep.
So you're saying we remember the events with the Tal Shiar and the Iconian gateways and all that stuff, but it wasn't in our timeline now.
Yeah. It seems that that's when the timeline split, is receiving the orders to go find Vishan Ren before the Tal Shiar do.
Are there any events in the Ebon Expanse sector about any of that? The Tal Shiar activity, the Iconian artifacts, et cetera, et cetera?
For a momentum, I can answer that.
Yes.
It appears that at the Tal Shiar and the Romulans in general, never made it all the way over there. It was a very specific pool that brought them to the Ebon Expanse. In this timeline, ever since the Shinzon on Ku, the Romulan state is kind of in a civil war, or they're just above of actually shooting at each other, or they're just below actually shooting at each other, and just above of throwing angry words at each other. They're actually starting to fleet up and have angry staring contests at each other. But it appears in this timeline that this civil war has been and kind of at a standstill.
Sounds like somebody wanted the Iconian stuff taken off the table.
Can you blame them?
No, absolutely not.
All right. Sorrel, what are actually very just Fox, what are you up to today? I think Finally getting some
Is he
intelligence
sleeping?
work done.
He's finalizing his transfer from lead operations, intelligence operations back to the Gungnir. So it's just a debrief, turning over all of his files, and then he's going to go to either back down to the Gungnir or temporary quarters and collapsing in a chair and falling asleep for the next 5 hours.
All right. So just basic. So just as basic handing over of intelligence and assets.
Mm-hmm.
The lead intelligence and officer at the moment is busy with something else, but you can leave it with his yeoman.
Yeah.
And Sinclair, what are you up to for this 24-hour period?
Well, for one, moving all the stuff I have at the apartment on Narendra Station to my quarters on the Gungnir, and two, making sure that all the chaos that occurred in sickbay is dealt with.
Okay, you can give me here's a roll hidden in there. Reason, medicine, or command. Difficulty 2, assisted by communications. As you check in on the med bay and make sure that everything's going well.
Take a threat. I assume none of my focuses would work for this.
Let me check your focuses. This opens. Yeah, not really. Need something like leadership, team dynamics. You did get it. Most of the 20 people are still in a coma. Most of the people who were or injured or have been treated. There was a couple people who collapsed and like bumped their head or broke something on the way down. Oof. Unfortunately, there's about 50 people who request extended time off. Just they had this traumatic event and they want to be relieved of duty and take leave.
I'll tell them that after reviewing their one, I request that they give me a pad with reasons for why I understand the traumatic event. It's very logical. I'll look it over, and if I feel it is reasonable enough, I will pass it on to the captain.
Insight medicine. Difficulty 3.
Would I be able to assist with that?
If you're made aware of it, you could have time to look into this.
Would persuasion work as a focus here?
This is more looking into the psychology of the situation. Would you let Vera know that you're that this is the thing going on?
You know what? Yeah. Dr. Sinclair will tap a com badge and say, Dr. Sinclair to Lieutenant Lieutenant Iviswan.
You don't get a response. Finally,
Nobody ever
somebody
called
says their
her
last.
Israel.
It's been 2 seasons.
Uh,
Yeah.
She just says again, Dr. Sinclair to Lieutenant Iviswan.
You hear like this sounded like somebody tapping their comm head very quickly. Oh, right, that's me. Yeah. Hi. You can just say right. I'll explain that later. Hi. Yes.
I was wondering, there's, as your first mission as counselor, if you'd like to come down here and look over some of the insights that may be given to you due to what just happened.
Yeah, I've been talking to people. I'll be down there in a minute. Yeah, she'll quickly make her way down. Yeah. Hi. Doc. Oh, yeah. Uh. Let me see. You did everybody make it through okay? By the way.
Yes, there's just a couple people requesting time off. I wanted to look over their requests to see if it's reasonable enough to send to the captain.
She'll look them over. She'll help look them over. Yeah.
If you would like, you can take the lead on this task.
No. You should definitely take the lead on this task.
Okay, then. I will spend a threat. Re-roll that complication.
Or maybe not.
Go Vera. Gain a momentum.
Go Sinclair as well. It was a team effort here. Come on.
2 by 2. Yes. All right.
Okay, well I can tell you that she'll lift one up. I can tell you this one. He's just making it up. I know him.
Any. You find that a full 15 of them are exaggerating their symptoms and just trying to find an excuse to get medical leave. The rest of them are valid psychological reasons. They experienced some trauma in the timeline. Some of them had major surgeries after an attack or witnessed something horrific, and they're just kind of dealing with that, or lost a friend. But there's at least 15 of them that are just like, oh yeah, Doc, I'm so scared.
Is Short Stack among them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Those goal breakers.
Yeah. Dr. Sinclair will compose a message to the captain containing all 50 of their names, listing 35 of them as viable reasons and saying, these 15 decided they'd like to try and shake down the new doctor.
Ross, you're made aware of such a report.
All right, I'll approve the temporary transfer of those needing assistance on the starbase or relief from duty for a while, and of the 15 that were trying to take advantage, I'll send a memo to their department heads for special extra duty.
Oh right. Wait, wrong button. There are 6 departments. Let's reroll that. It seems like 7 of them were in the command department. but the rest are spread out between security, engineering, and con.
Okay. So I'll let the appropriate department heads handle, their departments. But for the ones on command, let's see. That'll be fun. They can help Commander Sorrel polishing isolinear chips for the computer.
Sorrel.
Sorrel.
I'm back. Yes.
Hi, back. I'm the GM.
Hello, GM.
You receive a memo that there are 7 personnel who have been and sent to help you on the task of restarting the computer for disciplinary duties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're to make sure that the computer exterior is sparkling clean, but not actually touched any of the inner workings.
I will put them to the mundane task the captain wishes them to be at work at.
All right. Fox, you have about 4 individuals from the security department and that have been pointed out to you as
They are on armory duty for the next 3 weeks. They have to clean and maintain every single weapon in the armory, right down to the smallest component.
Oh no. Am I still here?
You are.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Discord just dropped. No, OBS just dropped. But we're still recording.
But
that's the important one.
But yes, they are cleaning and maintaining all the weapons in the armory. And the armor as well, right down to the smallest component of them.
Well, that's fun.
Shouldn't be.
All right. Hi, we're back. All right,
Welcome
Twitch is
back.
back.
If they haven't learned their lesson, they're going to be standing in a hallway for hours on end.
Stand at attention and watch this window.
Yep. You can either clean and maintain weapons and armor, or you can stand and stare at a wall for hours in a part of the ship that nobody traverses.
I can see Fox doing that. You have to guard this deck plating and make sure it doesn't do anything sus. All right. Moving on with the investigation. We're at Diff 3. We've gathered up the reports from the crew. What's our next step?
That probably would have been the last thing Fox did before he went to sleep. The punishments, because he's at the tail end of what he's able to do now.
Yep. And you can remove your fatigue trait.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next step on the investigation?
Yes, focusing on the computer core then.
Okay. So compiling the different data strips from the computer core.
Right.
Or data streams. Control engineering Diff 3 assisted by computers engineering. Who would like to take lead?
I guess my engineering's good. And maybe Sorrel could do an assist.
Gotcha.
Take 1 threat. And I have a focus in computers.
Yes.
And I'll re-roll that comp.
This is the worst timeline. Goodness.
Are you kidding me? I guess we'll quash that with the momentum we've got.
What
Quick,
the hell?
let's have Vera fly
I mean,
something. Get off
personally,
the
this is a very
table.
good timeline for Fox. He's just taking a nap.
Oh, yeah. You got it. Go ahead and roll me engineering +3, so 8 challenge dice.
My goodness. What's going on with Roll20 tonight?
That's 5. It's not enough for a breakthrough. For a threat, you can add 1 and get a breakthrough.
All right, we'll do that.
You managed to compile all the different computer cores and find the difference between one report log and the other. Pretty much the same thing as before. You did not receive you just never went on the mission in to receive Vashon on Ren, and that was never a consideration.
So, as far as we know, Roshan Ren doesn't exist in this timeline,
Or at least never came across Starfleet. Never came across Starfleet consideration.
Okay.
She was
So,
never
I mean,
perseverant.
so do we have any memories? Because I mean, Sorrel was rather intent on deborgifying Ren.
Yes.
Does he have memories of doing that, or?
You do have memories of doing that.
Yeah, we'd have pretty much all the memories of that timeline.
We know she was still on the ship.
It's just the She wasn't on the ship in this timeline,
No, but she was on the ship when we.
but she wasn't on
left.
the ship in this timeline.
No, I know that's the worrying part.
So
Yeah,
in the
so in
new
this timeline,
so the new timeline,
it's
no
still
Mike.
either on Romulus, or dead.
And we can't quite ask them.
If only you knew an intelligence officer who could check on whereabouts of a Romulan.
So we don't have contact with Ren or Michael in the new timeline. But we
Yes.
have memories of that.
You have memories
Yeah.
of that.
Since Michael was an Iconian AI, he's buried somewhere in the sands of the Kevin Expanse.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's no indication that Ren defected.
I'm sad.
I mean, when Fox picks up, you could have him check.
It is the next day. Fox, you wake up.
Yeah, he replicates a new uniform and shaves a bit, keeping the chin and mustache.
A goatee.
A goatee, a very gray goatee.
But it's an evil goatee.
All right,
No,
shoot
not that
Fox on
pointy.
sight.
Shoot Fox on sight.
Unlike my personal goatee, it's not pointy.
All right.
Oh, I liked the
Um,
beard look. It was
His hair is still longer than it was before he left the Gungnir.
Yeah, you can look that up if you wish.
He personally has no reason to. I was saying that they could ask him to do that if they chose. Because his assignment to intelligence is not a secret.
Yep. So, do you guys ask Fox to do this?
yeah.
All right. He pulls up the intelligence pad and taps up and taps in the description and name to see if any hits pop up with recent Romulan defectors or within the last 3 years.
All right, let's have fun with this. Intelligence asset is letting this happen.
Can we do it without rolling? Because rolling doesn't seem to be working very.
It's not working for you guys. I haven't actually rolled that much yet. I rolled
Now you're just tempting. You're just tempting the roll gods.
if
Strike
I
him
roll
down.
badly, then
With
the
his
feral
hubris.
gods will strike someone down. Probably Atro.
Oh, dice gods, he is the prideful one. Strike him down.
I am always prideful. I am a goblin child with brat tendencies. I will always taunt the dice gods.
Control security,
Right.
difficulty 6, complication 4.
Oh my god, 4 comps coming up.
Yeah. Would the intelligence pad give me an advantage?
It would.
Then knock that comp down.
Could you do have the dual roles of security officer and intelligence officer. You haven't used either. You could use your intelligence officer advantage.
I could. And I will.
All right, comparative.
Comp.
Oh, you're just playing with fire today.
I love playing with fire. So warm and fluffy.
It's warm and fluffy.
Because I never use it otherwise. Experience trumps all.
Yes.
And take the remainder for 4 die. And I have espionage as a focus. I get silence back.
Come on.
Reset.
Make
Go
it
for
happen.
Okay. Onwards and downwards. If anything goes wrong, it's Sorrel's fault. That is.
Gungnir!
Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt fate any. I'm not gonna attempt fate further. We got it.
Yep. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 momentum. It was very deep and very very far into the records. It appears that the Shanren in this timeline did not defect from the Romulan Empire, but instead defected from the Tal Shiar sometime about 3 years ago, and she is currently working on the Romulan state side of the Civil War.
There you go. She didn't completely defect from Romulus. Just the Tal Shiar. All things considered, she's on the quote-unquote good side.
Well, that's good. Good to know.
Feel bad that, we can't really go get Michael, but it's not even Michael right now, is he?
No. He would simply be the Iconian AI we encountered to begin with.
He was
None
still
of those
shackled at this point.
Yeah, and none of those experiences, so no guarantee he would have the same outcome.
Her last known location was as a border world north of the Shackleton, but she has been outside of Starfleet Intelligence's range for the past 2 weeks, as Starfleet is kind of taking a hands-off approach on the Romulan Civil War because Prime Directive and all. And it's just a bad look to interfere with that.
We can't
So,
hear
to be clear,
something boils over to our actual area of
to be clear, Sela hasn't assumed the control of Romulus yet. She's still in.
You can, and you'll be made abreast of the galactic situation later, or you can look into that now.
I would like to look into it.
or intelligence reports.
Or intelligence reports. Control command. Div 3. Communications command.
All right.
Okay, you roll. Not a me roll.
Control and command. Where? Let's do this. Div 3 comp standard. Computers as a focus?
Yes.
I'll give you 3 threat. That's more like it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And that is 3 momentum generated. As of now, it's unclear who's in charge of either side. It's fluid and constantly shifting, and there's a bunch of stuff going on with it.
So no indication that the Romulans pursued Iconian technology in this timeline?
None at all.
Okay. We may have to leave Michael alone just for that reason alone.
Yeah, probably.
I want to tempt the Romulans to down that pathway because it was looking pretty bad to begin with. But all right, so Sorrel, take note of that. Also interested in perhaps hunting down Ren.
All right. We still have 2 more our pizza slices to get through. So, what's the next step on the investigation?
What's the end point of our investigation? What are we just trying to determine the why, or the why, the where, the what's of this of the psychic integration after the temporal convergence?
Yeah, the who, what, where, and why of the temporal incursion of the psychic integration.
All right. Well, Sorrel will go to work on the theoretical side of that.
In what manner?
Studying the quantum mechanics equations that would be necessary to produce a temporal timeline convergence that would result in a psychic integration of the 2 timelines, an amalgam timeline.
Okay. Control science div 2 brought down to div 1 because of the sensors. Assisted by sensor science.
Sensor operations as the focus. I'll give you a threat.
And 2 momentum generated. We're at full momentum. Boom. 6. All right. I'm going to text this to you.
All right.
I guess while that's being typed out, we can probably like flash over to the medical bay so Vera can explain what was yeah, so I kind of forgot I told you all that name. Like nobody uses it, so kind of just didn't register when you said it. Sorry, sorry, Natalie. Sinclair? Lou?
We're sorry, the number you have reached is currently out of service.
Yeah, apparently.
Please hang up and try again later.
But I want to try again now.
Would you like to dial collect?
Sinclair say BRB at some point?
Oh, sorry, I was preoccupied.
Ninja
No worries,
AFK.
Yeah. No, while things are being typed, Vero was saying, oh yeah, no, sorry about not answering. I kind of forgot I gave Starfleet that name. Nobody uses it, so a little awkward, you know?
Yes, I understand. If it makes you feel comfortable, I'll just call you Lieutenant Vera.
I mean, just Vero's fine. Honestly, I should probably tell Starfleet at some point that that name was completely made up.
Aren't all?
Say again?
Aren't all names completely made up if you go back far enough?
That's beyond my pay grade, buddy. But sure. It's just this one's more made up because it's just the street I grew up on. I needed something to put on the forum when I turned myself in, so the first thing I thought of. Figured they like wouldn't take me in if I didn't fill in that slot.
I guess that makes sense.
Oh yeah, you got a lot to catch off on. Oh yeah, I was a pirate for a while. I know, must be shocking.
I mean, you turned yourself in and are working to redeem yourself, so...
I'm not pent up about it. I liked being a pirate, but I didn't like some of the stuff that I ended up doing. What were you told about some of the previous missions the Gungnir's been on at all?
I haven't had time to look over the logs. I've been mainly looking over the personnel files, the genetic signatures of everything, and medical histories.
Well, I guess then you're on a roll. Oh, let's see, what other warnings? Oh, yeah. If I ever say brace, you brace, yeah? I do some things that not a lot of people can manage to do with the ship.
So grab a bio bed. Good to hear.
Yeah. She'll like kind of look out the hallway. It's like, yeah, Bailey's not around. Yeah, no, like I'll just I've like made runs at like playing chicken with black holes and stuff.
Somewhere in the distance, Fox shudders.
In fact, Vera, you have not seen Bailey lately.
Have I seen like her little like friend group? Has she seen Kasha and Daiba around? Just in general? Is it like weird that?
Yeah, Kasha and Daiba are around, and if you ask the captain, she was on the bridge when the psychic thing crashed. But yeah, have you seen Kasha in the hallways?
Okay. I'm gonna have to go find Bailey at some point. I'll see you later, Doc. Yeah?
If I may ask, what was that 2-month comment in the conference room?
2 months? Oh, right. We've gone through a lot of medical officers. They like leave or die. For some reason it's just like this office has been a little bit wonky.
Well, if 2 months is the average, I expect to
Oh,
raise
that's not
it.
the average. I was giving you a positive review. A vote of confidence.
Oh, well, in that case, I expect to return it tenfold.
So 20 months. Got it.
Timer set now.
Place your best shot, place your bets.
Depending on whether you leave or die.
Yeah, anyways, I gotta go find Bailey. You see you around with all the people who are not doing too well.
See you around. I've got to go make sure everything is taken care of in my quarters.
Yeah. Anyways, that was just to fill time while you were typing.
Yep.
Are you still typing? Okay.
I'm done typing. So Sorrel, the results are in your log.
I've already psychically communicated that to the captain.
Captain, you're made aware of this.
Okay. So does that have any meaning specifically, or
For
effect?
momentum, I can clarify.
Okay.
Basically, either the rest of the universe is wrong or you are wrong.
So the rest of the universe is wrong. All right.
Yep, you are very slightly out of phase. Is with the universe. What that means is unknown, but it's not. But it doesn't seem to be affecting atomic structures, quantum things, sensors, transporters. You have to dig really deep to find it. But what it does mean is that the events of the timeline of the ship don't match up with the timeline that this universe has gone on through.
So it sounds like we've had some type of temporal phase change to get us from there to here, and we're slightly off.
Yeah, you took a jump to the left and then a step to the right.
Well, at least we didn't slide back. Okay, well, we'll carry on until we figure out if that means something or not.
All right. Sro, give me the 7 challenge dice. Five. That's 5. Not quite a breakthrough. Momentum to reroll.
Yeah. The 2 misses. Yes.
All right.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So plus 5, 8. So plus 7. All right, and one more. You have a difficulty 1 task as going to do. What's the last thing you want to do?
I'm sorry. I have a difficulty 1 task.
Yep, difficulty 1 task to finish up this report.
Okay. Still control science.
Depends on what your next step is.
Okay.
Don't we still need to interview Leslie?
I mean, I don't know that this is really. It kind of seems out of her scope.
I was just thinking, as a temporal person, she might have some unique insight, maybe.
I mean, she's a temporal agent, but then I took her tool away that let her kind of get that stuff going, and then I don't even know where that is.
I mean, technically, you got away from her in the other timeline.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. I don't really know what
Leslie technically still has it.
She would technically still have it as part of her standard gear unless you specifically take it away from it, or I spent threat to take it away from her.
Okay. Well, since I expect her to have it, then I guess that's what I'll do.
Okay. For crew support, she can and help you on this task as both of you just kind of noodle your heads together.
All right. I do like noodling my head there. That's a good thing.
She definitely has a focus. Can't imagine why. And you have a free reroll from her.
Okay. Control science, you said?
Yarp.
All right. Take a threat. Quantum mechanics is a focus.
Yep.
I'll use the free reroll.
All right, so 5 onto 1, 4 momentum. You have 2 float.
I would like to pile that into an advantage on the on gaining information on our status.
Okay. She gives you insight that the quantum phase variance that you have is indicative that you came from a very particular world line. If you can find someone else, it's kind of referential. Having a quantum signature by itself, I don't know if it doesn't do much, but if you can find other quantum signatures to compare it to, that's where you can get information on relatedness. So you're just a little bit off from this timeline. If you can find someone else who is a little bit off from the timeline, that would reveal some more information.
Since it's an amalgam timeline, am I needing to find those from the other timeline that was merged or from our own timeline?
Either or.
Okay.
Leslie, he also suggests that you definitely get a hold of whoever was involved in the Achilles event and talk to them about this.
All right, I will certainly send a request to the Achilles for a consultation, and I don't know, keep our ears open for that variance.
Yep, and go ahead and roll 8 challenge dice.
So calling this an amalgamation timeline is not technically correct. It's only a tiny portion of it actually has any changes to it.
Spinning a momentum to reroll.
There's no need. You already got it. You crushed it.
Okay.
You saved the momentum.
Science.
All right. With that, you have your report for temporal investigations.
All right.
All right. You meet up with the admiral. Your computers yours are repaired over the last couple days, and the entire cruise is back together in the conference room. So, I see that the report is you've only slightly phased into this timeline.
That's correct, Admiral. It's a 0.00047 phase variance into the amalgam timeline.
And it appears that the change in the events was as you picking up this Vashon on Ren, a defector from the Tal Shiar.
Yes, Admiral, that appears to have been the inflection point for in our time, in the original timeline from which we originate, the Romulan pursuit of Iconian technology and all the events that led there too. They seem to not have bled over into this current timeline.
So, you come from a timeline where Iconian tech is able to be found?
Are we all here, or is it just Sorrel?
Everyone's here. It's a
That's
staff
not
meeting.
entirely true, Commander. It seems that only memories have carried over. We're not completely from another timeline.
If we're out of phase variance, I don't think that's right. I think that if we're out of phase variance, then we are actually from that original timeline. And the memories that we have been integrated with are actually memories from a version of ourselves that we did not actually experience.
But the factor of Q also means that we are both right.
I mean, look at Fox. He's still got a beard. He didn't have a beard when he had left the other timeline. He had
Are you
beard
sure
when
that your I hate to ask this, but are you sure that your sensor equipment is calibrated?
My sensor equipment is always calibrated, Admiral.
Questioning his calibration.
I think we should be questioning a lot of his calibration. He does have a child now.
The eyebrow
So
is like
it appears that you are
almost near the hairline at this point.
So it appears that your memories and physicality are from this timeline, but your quantum signature and memories are not.
memories are
However,
both.
that works.
You
Not
made
well.
it work, so
So our
Yeah.
essence is from the originating timeline. The physical components are a construction of the current timeline, which pushed us forward 3 years.
It's like okay, I think I can explain it. It's like we're a puzzle, right? Like a jigsaw puzzle. But like there were a couple pieces that like kind of got mixed in with another box, but because it was made out of the same pieces, they kind of fit, but there's like pieces that are obviously from a different picture.
Sorrel touches his nose and points at Vera.
that is actually quite accurate. Pieces from that timeline with the Iconian technology have been forced into this timeline's version of us.
And this cut and the pieces just happen to be cut in the right way to fit.
For most of us, at any rate.
That was the integration we experienced X number of standard hours ago.
It's 3
Unfortunately,
days
it
later.
seems that several of our crew members' pieces didn't fit correctly. I believe, 20 crew members that were dead?
In the convergent timeline, at least they were dead in that other timeline. Of course, those who were dead in this timeline but alive in the other timeline weren't here to experience the psychic impact.
I see. What is your professional opinion on something like this happening again?
This is a unique event. I would rate it converging on the probability of 0.
We don't know what caused the actual shift.
I mean, I remember us gunning it into the Iconian gate.
That was the end goal. That was the end, not the starting point. The shift between the two timelines.
If Q is involved, then probabilities are irrelevant.
There's a 100% likelihood this could happen again if Q gets involved directly. But my point stands. My point is, we don't know what caused the shift from Iconian technology being more widespread to it being almost non-existent.
Well, maybe Q wanted to get the Iconian technology out of play.
Or something somebody else did. Changed the reality for everybody along that timeline, which shifted part of us into a different timeline.
Yeah, no, I remember Q said something about that, right?
We don't know what his true purpose was, but Q did make some kind of commentary on what he was trying to do.
He mentioned something as we were going. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he gave an explanation.
Insight command and diff 1. One person can lead, the others can assist. Or at momentum.
We have a lot of momentum to spend. That's near the end anyway.
Yeah.
Let Ross lead.
Okay, I'll insight command.
We could just spend with 6 momentum.
It's fine.
We got this.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you
rolled
get
one.
another one because it's 2 dice.
Ross.
Ross, you
Ross,
rolled
do you want to roll
1d20.
one die?
You rolled 1.
Oh, jeez. I saw the 2 there.
I mean, it's a nice 2, but you get another roll.
It's nice too, but you still have to roll another die because you were.
There we go.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Even better.
How'd that get changed? All right.
You were assisting earlier. That's how.
You remember that at Q said that someone had made a change to the timeline that put you in a paradoxical timeline. Someone else removed the Iconian tech from play. And since your entire mission arc was involving Iconian tech, you were and were not doing that. So the timeline I collapsed around a paradox.
Well, obviously, of course.
Yeah, but Q specifically said that someone made a change to the timeline. That's someone else made that change, and he was just rescuing you from that situation. He did not claim aim to be responsible for removing the Iconian tech. Now, whether or not you can trust him, that's a different question.
Sorrel has displayed the quantum mechanical equations on the screen.
Vera's doing her best not to look at them and hurt her brain.
Yeah, those are Fox is just looking at them, and Ross just hears, "Yep, those are definitely numbers."
What are you doing to those poor numbers, man?
Elementary, I don't understand.
I didn't even go to elementary.
I'm getting Sorrel's understanding through the psychic links.
The rel is explaining it to you in basic terms. But you're getting it at the speed
when a
of
mommy
thought.
number
They
and a
understand
daddy
it faster
number
than any
or
of
love
us.
each other very much, they differentiate.
Functions explain the world, kids. Functions explain.
I don't like math. You're never gonna get me to understand it.
Okay. Captain and Ross, in your professional opinion, do you believe that this has affected the viability and mission readiness of the Gungnir?
All the effects on the Gungnir have been repaired. Her crew is operational and ready to go.
Do all apartments agree?
Hi, Captain.
Sound off, department heads.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to test her flying yet, but I'm sure she's as lovely as ever. But the crew seem to be, in relatively good health.
Hey, no stroking that here.
I can't speak about physically.
Contemplating things.
Doctor?
I can't speak for the physical health of the crew. They are in extremely good health. There are a few that still need to be monitored due to the psychic reintegration, but I can take care of that mid-mission.
And what of the 20 crew members that are still within in a coma? Are they going to require additional medical care here on Narendra, or would it be better to keep them aboard the Gungnir?
Oh, I forgot about those guys.
With the source of the effect being the Gungnir, it might be better if they remain aboard the Gungnir, as it is a place they would recognize in both timelines and feel comfortable with.
I concur with Dr. Sinclair's assessment. I believe keeping them with the Gungnir is essential to their reintegration from a psychic standpoint.
Very well. Lieutenant Fox, what's your assessment?
Security is as steady as it always is, with the exception of a few who wish to shirk their duties.
Is this going to be a continuing problem, or do you have it under control?
They'll be in the armory for the next 3 weeks, regretting their decision to try to shirk their duties.
Very well. I believe that is a consensus.
Very well, Admiral. What are your orders for the Gungnir now?
I'll bring you to the map. This is the Shackleton Expanse. So far we have there should be 3 crews. We have 3 squadrons and spread across the Shackleton. The Shangri-La is going to take the core word. Gungnir, you're taking the rimward, and the Achilles is going to be in the center. Your particular mission, you are going to have a couple of support ships, the USS Falkland and the USS Zealth. They are of equal rank to you, but you will be coordinating through, and he flips through his notes. You'll be coordinating through Commander Marcus Farrell, the Strategic Operations Officer. All of you have different mission and profiles, but you are to be the spear of this squadron. Your mission is to go out and explore the sectors. There's one at a time, and find viable locations for our outpost and establish them.
Very good, sir.
We're gonna start with one sector at a time, and we're gonna bring you into sector Beta 5 of the Shackleton. And here's the operational map. Each one of these stars is a potential location. Some of them we do have some long range information on that might be of use, but otherwise you can just go to a random star and see what's up. It is captain's discretion on which order you explore this sector. When you establish an outpost, mechanically, it's going to take a project of 3 reputation to establish an outpost, and that just puts an outpost on the map. There'll be a couple dozen people on that outpost to upgrade an outpost, give it a trait, give it something to help. That'll be an additional project of either 3 to 6 makes reputation, depending on how expansive it is, and that will either be unlocked in the background or it will unlock a mission that you will do. And you are responsible for the safety and productivity of these outposts. Starting out, they're not going to be self-sufficient, so you're going to have to figure out trade lanes, make sure they have supplies and security as needed. So don't spread yourself too thin. If you look over the map, you can and highlight some of the blips, and that'll tell you some things are about. And down here in the corner, you'll see that these are several of the different types of outposts you can and establish. Just depending on what's up there. You can have a border security outpost, astronomical, mining, a subspace repeater, which is going to be helpful, resort tourists, or a pre-warp culture, or anything else. If there's like a wild card one you want to make, just
is that a neutron star between L12 and J14?
That appears to be a neutron star.
Okay.
So, if that, it will take you about a week at warp to get out there. Once you're within the Shackleton Expanse, and you're going to be limited to warp 6, you can go faster, but there's greater risk of engine damage within the expanse. What we know from the expanse is that it appears to have strong gravimetric and electromagnetic eddies that appear at random, and these are class 2 eddies.
What is the meaning of class 2 eddies?
It's a difficulty 2 task, or increases the difficulty of any task by 2.
Any task, so navigation.
Any task that it could effectively mess with.
Okay.
So navigation, communication, sensors for sure. The electromagnetic eddies have been known to strip shield relays. We do have a way of mitigating the damage, but once the relays are damaged, the only way to repair them is come back to dry dock.
Okay.
Is there supposed to be something here, or is that just there?
No, there's supposed to be something there.
So it's a
Just-
challenge.
An anomaly of some kind.
It's just
I
blank.
like it.
It's an anomaly of some sort.
So we've got to prioritize what to check here.
And this grid is set up so that we each hex is 1 day's travel. And basically at the end of an adventure, or we'll point at the map and see where we're going. I might interrupt your journey there and have something interesting happen on the way, or we'll just drop in on the system next week. But time is going to be a factor between moving places. As
from
things
perspective, and this would be his recommendation.
Where is the Achilles currently?
Aid.
The Achilles is 2 sectors north. But it should be coming back relatively soon.
It
Where
is
are the other two ships?
It's within communication range then.
Not yet. It will be. Probably by next week you'll have communication with them.
Presumably, there's not really a subspace relay.
There is
in
not.
these sectors. Yeah,
There's no
there we
subspace
go.
relay. Once you're out there, you are on your own.
Yeah, the further
You
we
are-
go away, the less likely we're going to be able to contact anybody.
Yep, you're in the sticks.
How far do we need to have subspace relays for effective communications?
And to piggyback on that, how much will Gyro help us with that?
Gyro only helps like within the system. And if you are, he can and help boost the signal from within the system, but he can't operate like from another star system away.
Okay.
Gyro is a short range kind of relay.
Yeah. As far as the relay density, at least one every 8 light year is suggested. but you can, and you know, before I eat my foot.
Get back to us on that.
Yeah. Place relay stations. Memory Alpha.
Yeah, because I don't know how far a light year would be for all these hexes.
I mean, warp, it's not a big deal, but
Yeah, but placing them. Because we'd have to place them ourselves.
I mean, again, so to warp, we should be able to place them fairly quickly, but
We'd have
Yeah,
to
how many
stop
do we need and how far apart?
every light year
See,
do that.
subspace buoy.
and that takes time.
No, add go away. It does not. I'd say, but I'm going to say for the sake of mechanics, they can establish a link 10 hexes away.
Okay.
And if you have a link from one to another, it can make nearly instantaneous communication.
that was our initial mission to essentially establish these buoys and to create a communication network.
Part of it.
Establish the buoys, establish the outposts, just explore and set up the infrastructure.
Presumably, we can do the relays as we're doing other things. That's
Right.
like a secondary
Mhm.
tertiary kind of thing. Investigation and aid should definitely be closer to the primary.
And there's 2 other ships with us, or assisting us.
Yes, they're in the same AIM squadron, but they are under different captains.
Who's the lead?
The admiral. You could just
Yeah.
make suggestions.
Yeah.
So there's
They
no
have-
squadron leader?
The closest thing to a squadron and leader would be Commander Farrell. He is the strategic operation officer for the.
I guess I was just suggesting that if we have a squadron, an acting commodore might make sense.
Right.
There's no. It's not a cohesive squadron since we're basically just aiding each other.
Yeah, you're just aiding
we
in
have
the
the same,
same.
we have the same field of operation, so we act in tandem, but separately.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing, independent
They're
of us.
kind of doing
but
their
we're
own. Yeah, they're doing their own thing. If you wish to suggest, hey, we picked this mission up. Can you look into that? You can communicate with Commander Farrell, and he'll pass that along.
So we're not
So-
directing them.
You're not directing them,
in
but you can
terms of-
suggest.
In
Gotcha.
terms of
Okay.
the overarching thing, the person that would hold more of the fleet, that like the operation theater fleet kind of Commodore-esque role, would probably be the most senior operating captain in the area when we have to actually go to fleet operations, which would not be Rost. So again, your dreams are dashed upon that rock of fate.
Whatever.
Now, these 2 other ships, are they NPC ships, or is there somebody else doing them in their own game?
They are NPC. All right, mechanically they're NPC ships and they are assisting you, but narratively they are aiding you on their own volition.
Okay.
The Zealith is a border patrol saber class, so small, quick, and can punch above its weight, but it's also very small. The Falkland is a emergency crisis response it's Norway class.
Okay.
And basically, when you point on the map, you can and ask them to. You can make a presence command roll to ask them to go to a certain mission, and they'll roll it in the background and see how well it does. They might be able to handle it themselves. They might run into trouble, and there's another mission on the map.
Alrighty then. So let's see what's on the menu. We have a warp signature up ahead. biosignature, a mine that needs aid, uranium deposit, a dimming star, and small freelance outpost to check on.
I think in terms of what we do, we should probably prioritize the warp signatures, the mine, and the outpost. And then go from there. Because everything else is more just, ooh, that's the thing that we can check out.
We get it. We could go sort of nearest neighbor, or we could just randomly select from all of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's turn the table over to you guys. What do you think? What's your
My
professional opinion?
professional opinion, warp signatures, mine, and then post check-in.
I mean, the safest thing to do would be to explore the nearest star systems, because that gives us a relatively short jump back to home base.
Go a step at a time. Yeah.
Yep.
But with Gungnir. I always go for the big bite, not the small bite.
I mean, I don't know what the big bite is here. I mean, I am very curious about that.
Go do things and not worry about jumping back to base.
Yeah, we're going to be out here for a bit.
All right, then. We'll do this the Gungnir way. She closes her eyes and points at something.
Yeah, that's the random walk. I'm ready for random walk. Let's do it.
Oh god.
Well, I'm curious to know what those warp signatures are out here in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna end up in V19 there with whatever that weird stuff is around that star, and the craziness that will ensue.
I mean, either way, we should definitely check out what those warp signatures are, in case they are something that is hostile in this territory.
Let's do it.
Sinclair?
I was going to say that as a doctor, the things that intrigue me the most are the warp signatures and the biosignatures.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, logically, if we wanted to, we could go from the warp signatures to the duranium deposit to the biosignature. And then that would be, what, a couple week trip? Yeah, that's 17 days. So a 17-day outing, come back for resupplier, just go up here to the, whatever this is. The Bellitrium mine. Which I guess it does specifically say it needs aid, so...
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right, I'm thinking that we take the Gungnir to the warp signatures first, then the mine that needs aid, since that's kind of on the way, and then the outpost check-in.
Wherever the shit that's gonna fucking happen and lead us in a totally different direction.
Right. Yeah, that plan will only last so long, but
yeah.
I think that should be our general order of operations at the moment.
Okay. Captain, go ahead and write our mission list in Discord, and I'll pin it. And for the people at home, yes, there are a lot of tokens that the players cannot see. They will trip upon those and find those surprises later.
Whatever. We've got a rogue who will be checking for traps every step of the way.
It's Vera.
We find no traps.
Definitely Vera.
But all this science stuff, yeah, no, you're not allowed to poke at that yet. That's for mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
Looks around. There's
No,
signs right there,
just
right
have
there
a
out the window.
no. I
You
just
can't
have a
touch
lot
that
of
until
markers.
mid-season.
There's
Wait,
on the
there's
map that are the.
There's signs. Look right there. You can see
I'm
out the
looking.
window.
I'm totally looking.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's mid-season stuff. You can't touch that.
Damn it.
You have to go through the arc where you and Ross get stranded on a planet for 3 weeks. Then you can go touch those fun science things.
And as for the Achilles, I'll ask if anyone's able to either talk or take a shuttle to help you guys out.
Okay.
I'll kind of see how that goes.
All right, so we have our plan. We're gonna tell the admiral, and then we can get going, right?
Let's go.
Right. I need them all in one post, but yeah. All right, check the warp signature, then check the mine that needs aid, and then the freelance outpost. Got it. All right, and as a rear admiral, I have the power of giving you guys an admiralty focus. This is extra focus is that you can have on your sheet, and the admiral can switch it out for you as part of his mission briefing. So right now, everyone has the focus of frontier development.
Ooh.
All right. Any questions?
Nope.
I can't think of anything right now. Oh, what systems are the bad guys in?
Those systems over there.
I don't
those
know.
systems over there, and those ones, and that one over there that has all the cool science stuff that Cyril's not allowed to touch.
I will note out that one, we can see that there are freelance and outposts out here. These are just people who decided, hey, I want to make a home in the middle of freaking nowhere.
The middle of one of the more dangerous locations in space.
Uh-huh.
Good job.
There's also there's also some other polities and factions that might be hiding out in here, and of course the locals. So
good. We'll have to clash with the Tripolity soon.
Well, okay. Are we taking the next step, or are we wrapping up here?
We are wrapping up here
Okay,
soon.
all right.
Let's see. Other things in the galaxy that I will bring up to speed. The Civil War with the Romulans. We also have a Klingon house that's going to be operating in the theater, but obviously Admiral Gaius has nothing to do with them.
Question for you, GM: are there any Defiant class operating in this sector?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
But yeah, you're also going to run into the Klingons. We're sharing the station with them. They're also operating in the area. They are to be considered allies and help them as needed. We're mostly working with House Sabgita. However, they are also on the lookout for Klingon fugitive named Rasa. They are to be killed on sight for crimes against the Empire, high treason, mass murder, or a bunch of fun stuff.
Do you have that galaxy map? loaded in here? I was wondering if you could show
yeah.
us where the Shackleton is relative to everything.
Yes, that actually would be helpful. That's where's the galaxy map? Complete map. Nope. Nope, that's not it.
Looks like a hallway.
There we go. New interface. Shackleton is here. Earth is
Getting big in the window.
Very far away. No, it's a tiny little blip in the window.
Apollo 13.
yeah, you're like 170 light years away from Earth.
Wow, okay. So that's on the other side of everything.
Yep. This is a exclave of the Federation that they carved out sometime in the 2280s to kind of box in the Klingons, and the Klingons just let it happen. So this is technically a Federation space, but to get back to the rest of Federation space, you either have to cut through the Klingon space, which right now shouldn't be that big of a deal, or there's a little thread along the neutral zone you can go that is unclaimed space.
If the Federation claims this area up here, they box in the wrong ones.
Yep. But as you can see, Romulans are right here. Klingons are here. Everyone has claim in the Shackleton.
So it's the Wild West at the moment, huh?
Yep.
Well, it's always been the Wild West for us. Where did we go that wasn't the Wild West?
Alrighty then.
Author, can you tell us a little bit about what defines the Shackleton Expanse?
What defines the Shackleton Expanse is the existence of those gravimetric and EM anomalies. We found
don't know
them.
what causes those, right? It's just sort of a.
Yeah, we don't know what causes those. It's just something within this area of space. And so far, they've kind of explored like the edge sectors here, and now we're doing the big push to explore inside.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions on the galaxy at large, or the Shackleton, or your mission?
Not at the moment.
Nope.
All right. And with that, I might have found an error with this new system. Scrolling and moving the button doesn't work well. Huzzah! And the adventure continues. Yay! And we all shout out for joy.
Huzzah.
Huzzah! Music provided by Kevin Macload. You should check out his royalty free music at incontact.com. Be sure to catch us next week at 7 p.m. here on Twitch to catch our next adventure on the frontier. As always, we're forever grateful to Modifius for giving us the tall ship, and to Gene Roddenberry for giving the stars to guide us. Until next time, fly true, stay safe, and take us out.